This week's Parsha is Parshas Kisisa, and it's all about the Machatzis shekel, which carries a certain life lesson for us, several life lessons for us, as a matter of fact. The first one is that the Torah selects as the coin that they're going to be using to count Klal Yisrael. The coin is a half denomination. And anybody taking a census, if you're going to use coins, logically you would use $1 instead of a $half coin. Yet the Torah says a machatzis shekel. And the question becomes, why do they use a half coin? What is the representation of a half coin? So the idea is that the same way that we find by the Aron Kodesh had half dimensions. A half always represents some form of incompletion. The story is told about the UJA, United Jewish Appeal representative, who calls up a lawyer. He says to him, "Hey Goldstein, our records show that you're earning upwards of $650,000 a year, and that we haven't gotten a donation from you." Goldstein says to the guy on the phone, "And do your records also show that my mother's a elderly lady living on her own? Do your records also show that my brother's a disabled Vietnam War vet? Do your records also show that my sister is a widow raising 4 children on her own? And if they couldn't get a dime out of me, what makes you think you will?" So the Torah is trying to teach us the machatzis shekel is all about giving. The machatzis shekel, where the Jewish people are going to donate, and it's Tzedaka, it's charity. The Torah wants you to know that when you do donate, don't think that you fulfilled your obligation. You're finished. You've given a half shekel coin. There's still more to give. And the idea of giving, of course we give, Jews always give, but giving is never finished. And one gives, and the giving is a half shekel coin, representing that there is still more, there's still more to come. Difficult thing to part with money. A person feels that the money is part of their time. Time is money, and that's why Tzedaka tatzil mimavos. Tzedaka saves from death. Mida keneged mida, because when a person earns money, he earns money by giving up his time. That's where money comes from. Money comes from working. When you work, you've given up your time. Time is life. So when a person gives up his life for the money, then he has to give the money away. In essence, what he's doing is giving up part of his life. Therefore, it's tzedakah, tatzil mimaves, because he has given up part of his life. Therefore, mida keneged mida, the tzedakah saves his life. There's a story about the shul rabbi who gets up and he announces to the congregation, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have to build a new wing, a new addition to our shul, and I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that we already have the money. The bad news is it's in your pockets." And in the history of Klal Yisrael, the Rambam says there's never been a Jewish community that did not have a tzedakah fund, and that's part of the message of the Torah over here. The second message of the Torah, of the machatzis shekel, is that the machatzis shekel, which is brought as a kapara for people, is a message that a person is never complete either. A person there's always room to grow. Whatever a person has achieved, whatever a person has learned, whatever a person has done, and however he's developed, a person always has room to grow in his avodas Hashem, in his learning, in his overall Yiddishkeit. Therefore, a half shekel coin is given as a reminder that the person is still got room to grow. Third of all, the machatzis shekel represents the fact that when you take account, there are 2 aspects to every human being. There's the body and there's the neshama. The bodies can easily be counted, whether it's a big body or a little body. Bodies can be counted. Each body counts as one. Neshamas are not as easily counted, because you have one person whose neshama is really worth 10 neshamas of the next person. A person who's achieved more and more of his potential, has grown differently, has grown more, has worked harder. His neshama has developed. There's no way to count the value of the neshama. A body, okay, bodies may be a little bit different, but each body only counts as one. The neshama is a value that's impossible to calculate. Therefore, it says machatzis shekel, because it only represents the 1/2 of the human being, which is the goof.